Man, do I have a lot to say after that loss. Some things this team continues to lack fundamentally is on defense. Look, you want to fault Carlos Mendoza. I see a lot of people over on X going after Carlos Mendoza for going to Reed Garrett. Who the hell else is he supposed to go to? Reed Garrett, our best reliever out of the pen this entire season. You can't blame him for going in that situation. But at the bottom of the 10th inning, damn, the things that Francisco Alvarez continues to do to negatively impact this team. And boy, do I have a lot to say on this post game today. Don't forget this. Earlier on in the game, there's bases loaded and a slider in the dirt by Reed Garrett. And once again, Francisco Alvarez backhands it and got very lucky he picked it out of the dirt. Why can't he block a ball? This has been something his entire career. If you're not going to hit as a catcher, you better be a stud defensively. And how many times is this guy going to cost us? Pat Ragazzo said earlier on in this season, Luis Torrens needs to be the starting catcher, and it could not be truer than right now. This team battled early. Soto looked good. Alonso looked good. Tyron Taylor played his ass off. But when you look at the top of the lineup, Francisco Lindor, 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts, looks lost in a big game. Nimmo, lost in a big game. And don't get me started with Jared Young. That is on Carlos Mendoza and David Stearns. Yes, David Stearns catches a stray here, and rightfully so. You cannot play Jared Young on a major league roster. The guy's hitting 148. Look at this 5 through 9 or 6 through 9, 6, 7, 8, 9. One of the worst in baseball. After McNeil, Alvarez is your 6th hitter right now? You've got to be kidding me. Mauricio, lost at the plate. The league has figured him out. Curveball, 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 curveball. He's going to swing, swing, and swing some more. I'm not blaming him. He's a kid at the bottom of the lineup. But these vets need to be better. You cannot have Jared Young as your DH. What the hell is Starling Marte doing on this team? You finally have a guy who's starting to hit in Marte, and he's sitting on the bench. Winker's coming back from injury, but Jared Young should not sniff a major league roster, period. I don't care what he's doing at AAA. It doesn't mean anything in the grand schemes of things. But the number one thing you got to focus on tonight is Francisco Alvarez, because it's not the first game he's cost us defensively. He doesn't just not block the ball. He makes the error that we make in Little League. That is a Little League play right there. The Little League catcher throws behind the guy at second base that's caught off base. Give me an effing break. Unacceptable. And I'm so tired of hearing, well, at the end of the game, in front of the locker, he's going to take accountability. BS. Take accountability. Send his ass down to AAA. He's not hitting. He's got a sub 700 OPS after this dreadful game today. And defensively, you could argue cost us the game. It's beyond infuriating. The fundamental and mental errors this team has made this year is unacceptable. We used to get on Buck Showalter time and time and time and time again for the bull crap that was pulled in the field. And it's gotten worse under Mendoza. I don't know what's going on. I know how good we've played this year, but we've played the Rockies, the Marlins, the Nationals who lose 10 in a row. This was the game to have. You're going up against Chris Sale and Strider the next 2 nights. This is the game you must win. And I know I'm not alone in this. There's no way I'm alone in this. We all knew David Peterson was out of gas. You saw it late in the 7th. You want to give him the first hitter? Fine. But you knew he was out of it. You knew. His fastball's topping out at 90, 91 miles an hour when it's typically 94, 95. He's missing up. When a guy is gassed, you start to miss up. That is just baseball 101. And I don't understand. Gary and Keith acted shocked when he got pulled out of the game after walking back-to-back hitters. And you're putting Reed Garrett in a tough spot. You bring him in. He gets two guys. Marcell Ozuna gets very lucky and check swings a splitter and was able to foul it off and turned on a ball down the left field line, tying the game. But you felt it slipping. You felt the momentum go to Atlanta. And what do? Instead of being the veteran-led team by guys like Lindor, guys like Soto, guys like Nimmo, 2 out of the 3 who had dreadful games tonight at the plate. My gosh. I don't know what the hell they're swinging at. But besides that, you would think you would lock in defensively. I am so tired of hearing the excuse how Alvarez is lazy behind home plate. It is lazy when you don't want to get your ball, your chest in front of a ball in the dirt, catching 101. And I'm not a major league catcher, but Keith Hernandez throughout the entire season has killed these catchers with their knee on the ground. You can't move. And yes, in my opinion, Francisco Alvarez is several pounds overweight behind the plate. When I saw him at spring training, it is clear difference. The size he was 2 years ago when he was mashing and looked agile behind the plate to what he is now. Much more pudgier. And I think it's been a big detriment. He's lost bat speed. His head's all over the place. And what does he do? Instead of saying, I'm not contributing on offense to this team, I'm going to throw the game away behind the plate. You can't blame Braziban there. I just find it incomprehensible, these types of efforts. But I'll get to some of your guys' comments really quick before we run down the line. If you're enjoying this content and you're with me, do me a favor, especially over on YouTube, just give us a thumbs up. And if it's your first time here, feel free to subscribe. Opinion on Mendoza. Ramon, I've been a staunch defender on this channel of Carlos Mendoza. Staunch defender of his. But tonight, I don't even want to say it was a bad night. I will tell you what I like and what I don't like. Because I don't know who's writing the lineup. In my heart of hearts, I do not think Carlos Mendoza sits in his office every day and writes this lineup out. There's no way with an analytical guy like David Stearns in the front office. It's not happening that way. So I think David Stearns gives the lineup. David Stearns is the one that adds and subtracts players from this roster. But I don't like Jared Young starting, especially in the 7th hole in the DH when you have a guy hitting on the bench, coming off a day off. It's not like we're in a stretch where we're playing 12 games in a row. This is the week. We said it last night with our new segment. It was put up or shut up week. This is put up or shut up. You're not playing Colorado. You're not playing Washington. You're not playing the White Sox. And you're not playing Miami. Put up or shut up week. You can't blow a 4-1 lead with 6 outs to go in the game. You can't do that. Bad teams do that. Bad teams find ways to lose. And we did everything in our power not to lose this game. Starts out with leaving David Peterson in one batter too long, who I've been screaming at Mendoza all year long. He doesn't have a feel for this pitching staff. We've seen it throughout the entire season. He leaves his guys in there one batter too long. And now you're asking Reed Garrett to come in with the heart of the lineup up and first and second with nobody out. It's not fair to a guy like Reed Garrett. You're lucky that he was trying to hold them to maybe 1 run. So it starts off with that. The mental errors defensively. Juan Soto's mental error on the base. I don't want to hear you're looking for the umpire. You got too far off the base. That is fundamental baseball. We've all known it. I don't want to get on Soto a ton. He's been hitting. His OPS is well over 1,100 in the month of June. But you can't make that mistake. Another momentum killer. It starts out with the 2 walks. Then you're finally coming back. Soto hits a 111-mile-an-hour single off the bat to right field and then gets doubled off on a deep fly to Pete Alonso. And by the way, I was right. For everybody that was in here the last 2 weeks saying that I'm nuts at MLB dead in the balls, they dead in the balls this year. That is a home run by Pete Alonso every other day of the week. Andrew McCutchen said the MLB admitted they raised the seams, creating more friction, which is going to kill balls and the long ball. Because MLB, for some reason, can't stop tinkering with the game. Not that it really matters tonight, because I'm sure Atlanta would have it as well, but it's just not acceptable. Not acceptable. Brutal loss. You're going to see Sale, Strider, and Wheeler the next 3 games. Yup, Mike. Today was a game you can't lose. And I know people are, Dre, it's June. You are setting the tone for the rest of the season. The only good thing that this stretch is going to give us, Atlanta, Philly, Atlanta, this is going to tell David Stearns, where do you need to add at the deadline? We all know we need another reliever. Probably need another bat. And this Vientos injury is killing us, because what it does is it's going to leave that thought in back of everyone's head. Well, he was starting to hit before he got injured. So we don't want to necessarily say anything, maybe not acquire a bat because Vientos is coming back. We need a real third baseman here. Klub, Alvarez is a bum. Dude, how many more excuses are we going to hear from this guy? You're fighting for your major league life. Why can't you block a baseball the right way? Why? It's the major leagues. Bases loaded, and I see him trying to scoop splitters and sliders out of the dirt instead of getting his body in front. Then it cost us in the bottom of the 10th. That's who this loss is on. Jose, this team is joke. Goomba, so tired of Alvarez. Why is he ever in late in games? Terren's definitely much better. Tired of the K's every game and the bad defense all the time. Dude, it's all the time. All the time. And they're not going to make late game replacements. For some reason, they still view Alvarez as the team's number 1 catcher. Make him the backup. Play once a week. Get your hitting right. Enough with the lazy defense. I can't take it. I can't. Frankie, Terrence needs to play every day, only Alvy day after night. I agree for you right now. And I think they're playing Alvarez with kid gloves right now. We're in the middle of a big division race. Big division race. And it starts this week. I said it the other night. The division race, it's nice. You're up 5 games, 2.5, 3.5, whatever. You're going to find out what you're made of this week. And right now, we just got punched in the mouth. Vince, stop panicking. Remember, we were last year, and that's a great stop. This team's fan base, ridiculous. 45-27. Can't make it up. Vincent, you know what? I understand where you're coming from. This is not last year, and I want to stop comparing this team to last year's team. You don't have a Jose Iglesias coming through. Juan Soto's playing as good as anybody in baseball. You haven't played this is the first game against the Braves the entire year. And you know what? It's easy to say, don't be overreactive right now, but that's what it's about. We're supposed to be winning these games. These are the games. These are the building blocks for the season. You're playing the Braves. You got 3 potential Cy Young Award candidates back to back coming up. And we have guys like McGill going on the IL. Blackburn can't start. Montas with his 40 ERA in the minors in his rehab starts. Mendoza saying both of them are not a candidate to start the game on Friday. Probably using a bullpen game on Friday, or maybe Blade Tidwell, something like that with a short leash. I'm not going to tell you guys how to fan. I'm not going to say I'm totally concerned about this team, but the issue is this. We allow the same mistakes to happen time and time and time again, especially with Alvarez, especially these mistakes we make in the field. Mauricio losing his focus, short hopping Alonso. By the way, Alonso, who's scooping a million balls out of the ground. It's good to see him doing it, but I want to see our guys throw the ball on a line drive to first base. It's going to cost you in the biggest of spots, a la Alonso. Whenever he makes that error at first base or can't throw home, it seems to cost us. George checking in over on YouTube. Alvarez sucks. Send him back down to the minors. Consistently has that uppercut swing. Now the bonehead play. He is another Thomas Nido. Jared Young should go down too. Jared Young should be off this team by tomorrow. I don't understand it. I think his batting average is down to 148. I always say this. If your designated hitter is hitting in the bottom third of your lineup, he shouldn't be in your lineup. Your designated hitter, all they do is hit. They shouldn't be in your lineup if they're hitting in the bottom third because it just means they're not good. Get to some more comments. DJ Nugget, thank you. Hope everything's going well with a lot of you guys. Send Alvy down. Frank, keep it family friendly if we can. Devers for a bag of balls. We got Beatty, Mauricio, and a third base and Young at DH. Really couldn't say toss Chapman in and give him Sproat and call it a World Series. You wouldn't have to give him Sproat. They got nothing back. It was a salary dump. It was a full-on salary dump. Nugget, holy ish, dude. Having Young and Alvarez back-to-back, too funny. I agree. And thank God that Jeff McNeil is starting to hit and play well. Because if we have the Jeff McNeil of last year, we'd be in for a rude awakening, to say the least. Let's be real. Alvarez, Mauricio, Vientos, Beatty all need to go. Mendy effed up again. You can only play the players that are dealt to you. Clearly, the league has figured out Ronnie Mauricio, and that's not a good thing because I don't see him adjusting anytime soon. Mike over on Facebook, appreciate you checking in over on Facebook, Mike. This ain't the year. They didn't put the money into the starting pitcher. They actually kind of did. They paid Minaya a lot of money. They did. He hasn't pitched yet. They believe Stearns, weird ops, all retread, long relievers plan, and it boned them harder than two skeletons making out. Embarrassing. Yeah, man. Yeah. Frankie, I'm not saying Mendoza's good. I don't know if you missed my initial rant on him. So Sands checking over on X. So sick of Alvy. He needs to be sent down. Dude, it really is bad. The number one thing as a catcher, play some defense. And we all see him swinging for the fence. Just isn't changing. Let me get to a few more here, guys. I got to work super early. Shout out to you guys for coming in here. If you're enjoying it, leave us a like. Subscribe if you're really enjoying it. We appreciate you guys. Every subscriber helps the channel grow. Working on a couple guests for our next off day. And we'll see. Thomas says Lindor's been terrible since he broke his toe. I'm wondering how much it's bothering him. I mean, he's going to play the whole season with it. He played injured in the playoffs last year. You know? I agree with you, Rels. It has nothing to do with the Braves. The Mets gave it again. I agree. Mendoza stuck with Peterson. One batter too long. Diaz comes in, shuts down the ninth, and you knew once that ball got by Alvarez, and he throws behind the runner at second base. That is something I'm teaching my 2-year-old daughter not to do. You get that the guy's off, you run at him, and you run him back to the bag. You never throw behind a runner or run a runner to the advancing base. Like, what is going on? What is going on? It's infuriating, that kind of stuff. Kluve, Alvarez has been eating good dad bod. Bro, I seen it at spring training. I looked at him. I said, who the hell is that? That guy looks big. Yeah, Charles Mauricio, once again, we spoke about it yesterday, man. The league's adjusted. He came up here because he could hit a fastball. Now all he gets is sliders and mostly curveballs down. Overall, just a bad thing. And I'm not saying you give up on Mauricio, but everyone's calling for Acuna to start. Acuna can't hit either. There's a reason why he's on the bench. I hate that nonsense. Oh, Acuna's OPS is sub 500, like amongst the worst in Major League Baseball. Let's not mince things over here. Should have pulled Peterson after he walked the first batter. I agree. I think Mendoza got caught with his pants down, not ready to make the move, or at least go out and check his temperature, right? We heard a couple weeks ago Mendoza talking about the relationship he's got with David Peterson and how they mended things and how they're locked in together. They're seeing eye to eye and everything like that, and how he could have conversations and pull him if he wants to, not pull him if he doesn't want to. Be locked in then. Be locked in. Mendoza got caught slacking. That's it. He got caught slacking. I see a ton of you guys in the comments. I wish I could get to all you guys. If you want to get your comment read on tomorrow night's postgame, the best thing you could do is comment over on YouTube. Thanks so much for sticking around. Mets lose a heartbreaker, but hey, you got Sale tomorrow. It's going to be a dogfight. Hopefully Soto has woken up, and I better not see Jared Young. You got the lefty going tomorrow, which means Marte's going to be in the lineup. The bottom of this lineup's got to start hitting. The bottom, you have 6, 7, 8, and 9 automatic outs right now. Yes, Tyrone Taylor had a solid night tonight, but in general, he's been an automatic out. Got to fix that. Got to address the situation if you want to compete with the best. But that's all I got for you guys today. Subscribe, smash that like button if you're really enjoying it. Share it with a friend. Help us grow this channel. Thanks so much for sticking around. And yes, even in a tough loss like tonight, let's go Mets. Peace.